Hey everybody, this is Go VR Go Home, coming to you from my layout. Just another kind of update as to what's going on with my layout, plus a little bit of a, I guess, product review. Not really, just showing you some stuff that I got. And also a couple of tips and tricks when it comes to building your layout. Now, again, I'm sure I've said this about 100 times, and it probably shows in my work, but I'm not professional in the slightest. I'm just a guy with a vision, a dream, if you will, a guy who loves his trains, and I'm a little bit artsy, I guess you can say. But, anyways, so I've been working on my layout, obviously, for quite some time now. And, most of it's trial and error. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But there's a few things that I'll learn that maybe I might have screwed up on that I can share with you so that maybe if you were thinking about doing something similar or using the same products or whatever, then it's good to know how they work or what not to do so you don't make the same mistakes that I did or might possibly make in the future, maybe even more than once. Knowing me, that's it's almost inevitable. But anyways, so I've been working on this. I guess it's kind of just like a siding here. It's a concrete pad. Kind of showed it to you in one of my last videos. I'm not sure if it was painted or weathered or anything, but here you go. So it's the concrete is poured using the Woodland Scenics. The track is down. That's Atlas track that's in there. It was nailed down. I had smoothed it out a little bit. I didn't want it to look too clean. You can see that there's obviously some little divots in there that I wanted, some imperfections. Then I blasted the whole thing with a concrete colored gray. It's just a spray paint. I use it with most of my other things whenever I'm spray painting gray. So I sprayed it gray, but then it looked too clean. So then I went over it with a black ink, which is basically, whenever I'm using black paints, I use these Citadel miniature. If anybody's familiar with Warhammer, yeah, I used to do that. Yeah, I love this paint. It's awesome. It works. So I just took the Abaddon Black, which is just for some of you old school Warhammer people, Chaos Black. You remember that? Yeah, same thing. And then basically I put some of that into one of these little cups here, as you can see. The funny thing is that I get a bunch of these from, where do I get them from? I don't know. It seems like whenever I get like takeout or something, they give you some sort of dipping sauce. Yeah, I sometimes I eat the dipping sauce, sometimes I don't. But you know what? When you wash it out, you got this cool little plastic container that you can do a 50-50 of water and paint. You can throw it away. You have not spent anything except for the cost of the food, but everybody's got to eat anyways. So, I can throw that out, or I can just use that with my black paint whenever I need to do like a black wash. Use it over and over and over again until it's to the point where it's like gross and I don't need it. But yeah, you can see I've got the yellow one as well because I did. So I did the yellow lines first. So here's my process. So I did the gray spray paint. Then I taped down the lines basically, so you can see the 4 yellow lines, just the safety, nothing special. And then I went over the spots that I gouged with like a black ink. But if you follow me on Facebook and you see the pictures, you'll see that it was way too dark. It was ridiculously dark. Like, oil stains and whatnot, but like, yeah, I mean, it was very in your face, dark. So, basically what I did, a lot of people have told me, well, you should get some, not necessarily pastel, but like some weathering chalk and whatnot, and try that. And I've been to a couple of places like Michael's and whatnot, and I don't think they really get it, what I'm trying to do. And I mean, I've been into places like Home Depot trying to explain this stuff to some people, and I know that not everybody's into this hobby, or if they even get what we do, or understand the whole thing behind it. But a lot of people just don't get it. So sometimes, going online and talking to people, and looking at forums and whatnot, you get some ideas. And then there's also those times where it's right in front of your face, basically, like right in front of you, and you're like, oh my god, why didn't I think of this sooner? So I saw this one tip where people wanted to weather certain things by taking a normal pencil, like a pencil that you would write with. Remember those before typewriters and computers and cell phones? Yeah, a pencil. So they would take a pencil with sandpaper, sand it down. They would basically just drop it on there, and then they'd rub their finger, and that would give it a bit of a weathering effect. Which is cool and stuff, but I didn't want to make it darker. I need to make it lighter. So then what's a guy to do? Well, as some of you, or if not most of you know, I have a 2-year-old, and kiddo loves to play out front, and he's got these sidewalk chalks. Actually, Crayola, as you can see here. I don't know what this one is. But anyways, he got a box of these, and it's literally a rainbow of colors. I think there was like 48 colors in the box. Kid likes to draw. What can I say? He takes after his old man. And yeah, I totally took that from him. That's the black. It's not really black. It's kind of like a grayish black. No, it's a dark gray. Let's just say it's dark gray. So I applied the same technique. So yeah, it's a chalk, but it basically, you grind it on the sandpaper, it turns into a powder, and then you just wipe your finger gently. I wanted to leave the middle parts a little bit darker because that's where the engines roll over. Maybe there's some oil stain or whatever. But basically, that's what I came up with. Weathering the lines a little bit, making them somewhat darker. And yeah, got one of my Via cars on there right now just to kind of show you. And like I think I might have impressed myself a little bit with this. I mean, I don't know how realistic it looks, but for me, I mean, I think I did a good job, dare I say. But I'm gonna see what I can do to apply this technique to maybe weather a building, or something else. Will I start weathering train cars? Probably not. I mean, if anybody watches my videos, they know I like my engines looking clean and, spot free. So that might be a little bit of a stretch, but at least I know I can make a realistic looking world, somewhat. Now you'll see here, I've started doing the fence. Well, and by starting, I mean like I've been working on the stupid fence for like ever. And by stupid, I don't mean stupid, I just mean it's taking me a long time and it's very frustrating. So, Walthers, again, love their kits. Highly recommend them. I got this box, I think it was about like 20 bucks or something. And I'm pretty sure I showed this in one of my other videos. You get a couple of sprues like this, which is just your fence posts, a couple of gates. So you get like 2 of those. I've already used 1, which is great because you just have to space them out. And I don't know if you can see, but I have them all spaced out and I have it going around. So basically, this is the cool thing here. Because of the, this is my tip for the day, if you will. So anybody who uses cork, so I use the cork road bed. This is what I did. I made sure that I had enough room here, right here, so between the track and the fence post, so that basically train can go in and out and it won't be rubbing this, but I still have like walkway room. So I have it going along the edge of the cork. So these pins here are very popular. They are the Woodland Scenics pins, but they are a little bit thicker. And what I noticed is that when you push it down into the cork, like this, keeping in mind you want to make sure it's at 90 degrees, you pull it up, and I don't know if you can see it, but it left a hole right there. And that hole, you can basically take one of your posts and make sure the end's clean, and you can stick it down in that hole. And you don't even have to glue it. I mean, you should glue it, because you don't want it to like rip out or whatever. You don't want it to fall out. But yeah, basically, I just went around, I pinned and basically measured out the gap between each one, so they're all a perfect distance from each other. I'd also asked, hey, what do you guys think as far as, you know, what I should do for this area here. So I'll kind of show you a little bit at a time here. So basically, after putting all the holes in, I put each post in, so you can see all the posts. And then you have to run stringers. Basically, you can see one on the bottom here, and then one up top. So going through and having to do it one at a time, this is your stringer here. It's a little piece of wire metal. And you can bend it and it stays bent, or you can straighten it out and it stays straight. So yeah, I'd asked you guys, should I put a gate here or not? And the gates aren't that big. And because of the track and because I use passenger cars, I mean, you can kind of see that would be kind of ridiculous. I can't even put a post in the middle there to kind of, you know, have it split in two. So it's like this one and then this one and then this, you know, post there, right? So I can't do that. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of giving it the finished look, and I'm continuing it from here, and I'm just going to follow the cork road bed off to about there. And then that's where it basically ends, because that's where the table ends. Now, whether it keeps going, I don't know, doesn't matter. But that's how basically I'm going to finish that off. And then that one just stops there. So then I got a piece of the fencing up as well. So this is kind of the look I'm going for here. And then because I'm super impatient and I can't wait, I put ballast in as well. It's not glued down, but you can see there's ballast on the inside. And then I just kind of did a little bit of a slope to it. I mean, you know, again, it's not professional in any way. I'm not pro at this. But again, like, I think I did a pretty good job. You know, I'll probably do a bit of weathering to the fence. And I'm gonna, I don't know, put some bush along here, shrubbery, weed. You know, just to make it look a little bit more like, you know, like it hasn't been maintained all that well. I could even put probably like trees along here just to kind of hide this. Not really hide it, but make it look like there's a bit of a wall of bush or shrubbery there. And, you know, I've got my retaining wall that I still haven't painted, but I'll get to that at some point. But yeah, that's basically it there. Once I'm done the wiring, like I'm still working on the top wire here. So I've got one more piece and then that's done. And then I can do that side and then the back there. But basically the way I do it, I use the pins to kind of hold it in place. And, you know, I do have to bend it a little bit to kind of put the stress towards the post. So the post is holding it while these things, the pins are pulling it towards it. And then I just tack it with the glue. And then I come back in like a couple hours. Well, it's nighttime now, so tomorrow I'll come back, I'll remove the pins, and then I'll do the next wire. And that's basically what I've been doing. So I do like one a day, one wire a day. It's really sad actually, but I'm getting there. I've got one chain link fence up. Yay. So I'm pretty sure I'll finish this before snow touches down, and then hopefully I can get it ballast and then glue the ballast down in this area at least, right along the edge here, so that that's done. Next, because showed you everything there. So I have a tendency, especially with winter coming up. Yeah, winter, I know, I'm sorry, I mentioned it. Well, with winter coming up, I do have a tendency to buy a lot of building kits and whatnot over the winter time, even though I clearly don't have any room for any buildings except for the ones that I already have here. But every so often, Walthers releases a building kit that I have to have. And this was just released, the Walthers Cornerstone DQ Grill and Chill. Big fan of DQ. Lots of these up here in Canada. With our abundance of ice and cows. I mean, for sure we're going to have lots of ice cream and, burgers and whatnot. So I needed to get one of these for my layout. And when I say need, I don't mean I needed it at all, but I wanted it. So we're going to take a look real quick. Now, a lot of people have asked me, they're like, how do you know where you're going to put your buildings, and, what do you do to plan? Like, do you go out and buy a bunch, or like, and you just place them after, or do you do your track and then, or do you, do the buildings first, whatever. I kind of have my process where when I see buildings that I might need, I just make a mental note of it, especially if I like the look of it. Obviously with the Union Station, it needed to happen, so I kept that one in the back of my mind for a while there until I was able to get two of them. The shop down there, the rail shop, basically with something like that there, I wanted a siding, I needed a long building, and that just seemed to be the best fit. And because I was able to just basically, and I kind of show you, because this is the backing here, right? This board, which I'm probably going to fix afterwards. But from there to here, that's actually the back of this building. I basically cut it there and had it facing forward, attached it, and the piece of the side that continues onto the back, I actually tacked it onto the side here. And then that basically means that is the proper length because of whatever, and compensated for yada yada with the length and all that. Not very mathematical, but it works. And it makes it look like it's an entire building, background building. I still got to put the doors and finish that and do the upper level, and such a lot of work to do. I hate seeing things like that because then I'm all like freaking out. Not that I'm on a time schedule or anything, but then I know that I'm so much farther ahead than what I need to be, especially with all the ballast that I've done, and I'm not even done really that area yet. So see what I mean by getting so far ahead of myself? Anyways, so yeah, so something like that. I mean, I knew I needed a building like that. It fit. I made it work with kind of extending it. But the other thing that I do, and this is what I highly recommend, and this is what I suggest to people, with something like Walthers, and you'll see on the box here, the Grill and Chill has the dimensions of it basically. And you can find this on most Walthers boxes, and there's a few others like, well, what was it? Those buildings, Bachmann Spectrum. they had the footprint as well. So basically, when I know that I'm gonna want this building and this building, what I do, I either go to the store and I get the measurements right from the box, or I look on the website, and then basically, this was a pizza box, pepperoni pizza, and it's supposed to be the trade tower, so it's cut to the size of the footprint, which is great. And it even has a little door at the front there to show me that that's the front. And then that's basically where it goes. Well, it doesn't include the sidewalk, but basically that's where it'll go. And that's what I did for both of these, and that one over there, the somewhat of a building to be built, skyscraper kit, something. Anyways, so that's why everything basically fits almost perfectly, and I was able to cut it and then do the track after. So I placed the buildings, then I placed the bridge, and then I did the track. If that makes any sense. I hope it does. But yeah, so make these little cardboard things, write, whatever it is that it is. You can write the dimensions on it just so that you have the mental note. And yeah, some parts come with like several things, so you have to cut out several squares, and then that way you can kind of, place them where you want, and then you can work your roadway into wherever you need to. And yeah, that's how I do that. Again, everybody has their own way of doing things. That's my way. You don't have to do it the way I do it, but for the people who ask, the people who want to know, there you go. That's how I kind of do my planning as far as buildings and whatnot. Now, obviously, when you do like these little kits here, they don't come with a footprint. It doesn't show you. At least I haven't seen. So you're kind of SOL. But with something like that, you're paying like, $15 to $20. So, I mean, you can get a bunch of those. Where something like that there, where you're paying like $90, $100, those two kits were like at least $100 each. And then this here, MSRP, was like, I don't know, I think I paid $50 for it, Canadian. So, but I'll make it fit. I don't even care about the footprint for this one. I'll just place it where I want it to, and then that's where it's going to go, and then whatever. It has nothing to do with the track. It's just when I make my city part of it, the downtown with the restaurants and gas stations and all that stuff. That's basically how that'll go. I'll make it fit. So I'll just go ahead and open this up, and I'll show you what it comes with, because this is, like I said, brand new. They announced this about a year ago, maybe less. Yeah, it was probably about, 6 months or so. And so it comes with your grill and chill, standard Walthers, very descriptive. Everything's numbered. The instructions, basically, something like this. Super easy kit to do. It's not really going to be extensive in any way for me. I love doing kits like this. So, and it's basically already all done for me. Obviously, you gotta pop out the pieces, clean them up. I think they call it flash. You want to clean off the flash, and then paint them. You got your base paint, and then once it's all together, then you can do your weathering and stuff. So you've got some wall pieces, you've got your windows and doors. It comes with, ooh, this is cool, tinted glass. That's always fun. And then what I believe is the ground for it and the roof for it. The ground being the base level. That's totally going to be gray for concrete, and that'll probably be black because I'm sure that it's black. And then, just like the other, like the picture shows, the walls are like two-tone, so some of it's going to be orange, and then tan colored, which I'm sure I've got a tan color, and then brown with some black trimmings, black windows and window frames, black roof, gray concrete. It's a very basic kit. The only weird thing is going to be this front doorway here where you had to do like the stone. So I'll probably use the same gray that I used for that, and then do some different colored stones in there. Make it look pretty cool. And then the other thing, which is really neat, where'd they go? Comes with all these little signs. The little DQ Grill and Chill sign. That goes out the front at the end of the road there, and then you've got your little DQ signs and Grill and Chill that go on the side of the building. And that's cool because they're plastic. They're not. It's not a sticker. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Is there anything else in here? Whatever this is. I think that's just the manufacturer warranty or whatever for shortage of defective parts. And they're usually pretty good. I've bought a couple of kits where there was missing pieces. So always make sure you count all your pieces when you get a Walthers kit. As much as I love them, it's like, geez, like you can see what is missing from this picture. Gee, I wonder. It's one of those obvious things that just, it blows my mind how, you know, one little part makes the biggest difference. And for those who just don't see it, there you go. But yeah, it's whatever. You know, with the price you're paying though, I mean, you'd expect all the pieces to be there, but things happen. You know, I have bad days when I'm at work, so I don't expect everybody else to have perfect days when they go to work. But other than that, because it's kind of dragging on, I'm at 27 minutes right now. I really wanted this to be just really quick, but so much for that. Anyways, so yeah, I know I really haven't done too much with the layout, and it's kind of sad, but I've been in talks with Dave. I was actually at Dave's house the other day, checked out his layout. It is so awesome, and you know, it's actually a lot. I found it to be a lot bigger in person than when I watch his videos. So I hope when he comes by to check out my layout that it actually seems bigger than what it actually is, because I personally think it's really small. So hopefully it's just me being all like, I want a bigger layout. But yeah, we're in talks of you know, starting a bit of a model railroad club. We've already got somewhat of a basic design. Of course, yours truly is going to be doing a train station module. It's going to be two that go together. That's kind of what I'm set on right now. And Dave's still working out what he wants to do, but I'm sure it'll be awesome either way. And I think there was also another gentleman who would like to join us as well. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll probably do like I think we're going to do like a separate YouTube account where it's going to be the three of us and whoever else is joining us, and we're going to just do the progress or the progression of our modules and whatnot. We'll do a filming of that, and then obviously we'll let you all know so that you guys can follow along with that as well if you are interested. Other than that, I'm go VR, go home. Thank you again to all my subscribers. Thank you to all my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subs. Honestly, like, yeah, it does mean a lot to me. You know, just knowing that people take the time to comment and, you know, see how everything's going and, you know, give their advice and, you know, just, you know, we are all in the same hobby. We're all into the same interests. You know, we're all good like that. You know, we all have the same understanding about what we do, and it's just for the love of the hobby. So, you know, again, thanks, guys. Plenty more videos to come, and you all have yourselves a good night, and see you next time for hopefully some more Ontario Northland stuff, because this is supposed to be the Ontario Northland month, but in this episode there was none. So just waiting for some stuff to come in the mail, and I'll be able to follow through on that. You guys have yourself a good night. Bye.